Do temperature, magnets, or motion affect the laser experiment in any way? That is a great question, Caltalk. Talk Dick. um, in fact, this is what I was talking to my friend, the physicist, today. I realized that all the experiments I was running with magnets so far didn't really yield too much fruit, but I did realize that I'm probably just not using magnets that are powerful enough. And one of the things that immediately came up is that, well, what I want to be looking at is the Zeeman effect, which essentially only starts happening at a certain power of the magnet. And if the magnet is not powerful enough, then then you don't see any effects. But I do believe that the second we get our hands on more powerful magnets, we'll be able to actually do something with it. So now I'm working to figure out how I can get a magnet that is powerful enough. And I calculated we need at least 3.3 Teslas, which is pretty big. Usually they only have it in labs. Um, but I think I found something, so it should be possible. Amazing. So I think it should be possible. If it occurred, let's see. If you do not watch it, it never happened. Electromagnet. I mean, yeah, it would have to be an electromagnet. I don't think natural magnets can produce anything above, I think, 2 Teslas, and I think that's like crazy. Like if you maybe 1.3, the most powerful ones. Yeah, but you need something above 3.3 Teslas if you want to influence red, the red light, which is what the laser is. So we're going to try and do that. I looked at a few options. Obviously, there's all kinds of labs that do that, but it's an arm and a leg to use these facilities, and they're usually reserved for science or mainstream science. Let's call it that. And there's one that is like crazy. There's like 10. Actually, my physicist friend that said that there's one, the most powerful magnet on the planet is actually in Florida. There's a lab by the NSF. I forget what it's called, but they have 40 Teslas. They have one that produces 40 Teslas, which would be insane. But let's see. Electrostatic? No, that's not going to be enough. No, you need enormous magnets. Why am I doing this? So, Eric, if you're not familiar with the channel, this is. Oh, I see. High voltage. Yeah, well, again, this also kind of puts you in the situation where you have to add a lot of parameters there, not to fry your circuits, right? So this channel is talking specifically about the simulation theory. My name is Danny, and I claim that I found proof that we live in a simulation. The experiment is very simple. If you project a diffracted laser on the surface and you happen to be on a particular molecule that I cannot name on a live chat, then you will see code running in surfaces. This has now been replicated almost 1,000 times, and maybe a little bit over 1,000 times worldwide. And I guess now it's at the stage of discussion with some scientists, with some people who are interested to see if they can help take this experimentation further. And this is why I decided to show up every day and have a live feed that we engage and we talk, because I want to see where people's minds and hearts are on this topic. Why it's going on in your neck of the woods? Hey, Carol, would you mean my neck of the woods, like in California? Let's see. What could be its practical use of knowing the will in the simulation? Well, it can be everything. If you can rewrite the code, or you can modify the code, if we can understand it on that level, then you can rewrite the laws of physics. You can create technologies that were not possible prior to this. You can possibly understand the connection between what consciousness is and what the simulation and what the physical world is, or what we call the physical world. Do you think Imperial College might conduct some experiments with it? I mean, I've spoken to people from Imperial, but I don't know if anytime soon. Simply because, again, usually when you have your science project funded, they have very specific protocols that they put forth before they get the approval from the government. Considering the fact that it's an illegal substance, when the government gives the approval, as far as I know, maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I know, you cannot steer from what you've disclosed from the protocol at all. So if you're gonna move away from what you promised, you might be opening yourself up to a serious lawsuit by the government. So they know of it. Some of the people involved with the project actually saw the code. Hopefully, eventually they will take it on. I think it's a simple experiment. It's not difficult. But again, in science, everything has to be very extremely rigorous, and especially when funding is involved, you got to be very careful with how you're playing this game. I don't have a straightforward answer. There's another project that started happening under the same umbrella in San Diego. Maybe we'll be able to do something in San Diego. We'll see. If electromagnets work, you'll be able to record and visualize this, proving it's not in the brain. So 2 things. Thank you for the comment. 1 second, let me see that. They don't have that. Sorry about that. So the comment was, if electromagnets work, you may be able to record and visualize this, proving it's not in the brain. So 2 comments. First one is, I'm not sure what you mean by then you'll be able to record it, because you're going to need something, like a extremely advanced technology that basically can read and record directly from the cortex and then feed it into a computer if you actually want to compare, right, the data between the different people and be concretely say, okay, this was A and B and C, and that's what the other person saw. But the other thing is that you said you can prove it's not just in the brain. So I understand what you're trying to say, but basically any neuroscientist and any cognitive scientist will immediately correct you here and say, there is no difference between saying in the brain and saying in the world. What you mean is that it's not just imagined, but all of it is in the brain, including what you see as the regular reality. All of it is in the brain. And reprogram yourself, that would be great. Yep. Let's see what we got. Record physically versus within consciousness thought. You mean transcribe? People did that, but to be honest, there's so much going on there at any given time. It's very difficult to kind of hone in and say, okay, it's very difficult to transcribe because you have millions of things happening all at once. And at the same time, you have a very fast and rapid movement of everything. So you can clearly see that something is happening, but it's very difficult to register the specifics, especially of large swaths of what's going on. Just believe in our own thought and belief. Like magnets themselves, we can't see it, but we transcribe computer memory with it. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know, that's already a way more wild claim. I didn't even realize that's what you mean. But yeah, that's going to be a very difficult thing to prove, because we use magnets in a very particular way where we know what we're applying it to, and we understand the materials involved. Here you have so many unknowns. We don't even know what consciousness is, let alone how to record and all that stuff. So at the moment, unfortunately, we're stuck with just kind of talking about it and having that as the data point. Let's see what else we got here. How you doing, everybody in YouTube? Today, I'm going to repeat it real quick. And I also see that it's kind of it's almost like the simulation knew that I'm not going to have a lot of time today. We barely have any people in the chat, which is fine. It gives me more opportunity to answer questions in more depth. But I'm going to have to bounce in about 15 minutes. We're dropping off adorable puppies that were fostered, and we're adopting one, and now we have to proceed and drop the other 2. So we have to try and do that. We have iron oxide, lotus crystals in our head. Okay. So this is what And believe, I mean, record physical. I love the Christmas tree. So, yeah, I have a strong feeling that the experiment with the stronger magnets is going to work. And I found one industrial magnet, or like a whole apparatus that gives you it's like 3.5 Teslas or something at room temperature. I mean, it's pretty expensive, but it's not as expensive as you would expect. Like this kind of equipment usually costs, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000. I found one for $15,000. So that might be worth trying to get funding for, because if this works, this might actually give us like a huge breakthrough. Lotus stone is magnetic, magnetite, yeah. So yeah, I mean, they have proved, Remy, thank you for that. They have proved that we do have some receptors. We do have some ability to perceive the magnetic field. It's just not robust enough to actually, as far as we know, it's not robust enough to actually do anything. Not like with birds, let's say. How you doing, beautiful disaster? What a handle. um, what else can I say? Yeah, so this is the main kind of, today was my main focus on trying to figure this out and see if I can come up with something that might give us the next breakthrough. And this was the main thing that we focused on. Hopefully, in the next few days, I'll be able to distill a little bit more specifics about the experiment. I do know that some materials should be involved, specifically bismuth and maybe cobalt. But I'm pretty sure that bismuth would be some kind of a key in seeing if we can see a change in the code while exposing it to the magnetic field while being on the molecule. So I think that's going to be the main. It's going to be the main thrust for the experiment. Let's see. Have you had a physicist try this? What were their thoughts? Supersymmetry. I only had two physicists try this. One of them saw it, and he was, I think the best word to describe it, he was flabbergasted. He didn't know what to say. And this is a common response because it really is not on the map, at least at the moment, as far as we know. Like, nobody expected to be able to see something like this. So he's still, kind of like pondering. He wants to repeat the experiment soon, but he has yet to, come up with any rational explanation according to what other things he knows. But we'll see. The other one, unfortunately, good friend. He started as a string theorist, and he couldn't see it for a while, and we didn't have a lot of time that day. So some people, it takes them a second, it takes them like sometimes up to an hour or two. Some people longer. I had a few cases in which it took a few hours, but eventually everybody sees it, and then it just becomes like, oh, okay. And when you ask people what changed, nobody knows. Like, it just all of a sudden springs into view. It's almost like you didn't know how to look at it or something, which I can't really attest to because I saw it right away, and I don't really know what is this factor that makes this difference. I do know, however, that it's a one-way street. So the second that you see it, you can't really unsee it. It's just kind of like there, and you can get rid of it no matter what you do. But when you see it, also, it's extremely concrete. Like, it's really there. It's not just kind of there. And unfortunately, that the second guy that I'm telling you about, we didn't have a lot of time that day, and we couldn't continue, and he just didn't see it. So hopefully I'll be able to repeat the experiment with him again. All of these moments, they're kind of cringe a little bit for me, obviously, because I'm telling people about this stuff, and if it happens that some people takes them a little longer, it's always kind of like, oh, like, just. But yeah, it's just that this is the part that is very difficult to explain to people, like why people are so convinced of it, because the second that you see it, you go, oh, what is this? This is like real, because it looks completely real. I wish I would know what is this factor that makes some people see it fast or some people see it like it takes them a while. I thought about all kinds of things: age difference, the way that people's mind works in general. So maybe it's almost like logical blindness. I don't know how to call it, like conceptual blindness. But I think something tells me that the answer is going to be very straightforward. It's going to be very simple. For example, I'm sure everybody or most people here are familiar with the meme with the dress, right? The one that can appear either blue and black or gold and white. You know what I'm talking about? This thing went viral a few years ago. And so it's basically, to anybody who doesn't know, it was a meme of a dress. You can just look it up: blue, black, gold, white dress. If you Google that, look for the original one. And you should either see it as blue and black, or you should see it as white and gold. And people argued about this because the population seemed to have split exactly in the middle. Like half saw it this way, the other half saw it. It's the same image because it's shaded in a particular way. What's wild is that what they discovered through it, because of this meme that people didn't know this before, is that what causes that is that some people naturally are drawn more to the highlights of an image, and some people are drawn more to the shadows of the image. And depending on who you are, that's how it's going to appear to you. I think if you're drawn to the shadows, I think it's blue and black, and the other way around. What's really wild, you can practice this. I managed to do it, so it's kind of crazy. If you see it one way, you can force yourself to see it the other way. Just like, when you have a drawn three-dimensional cube, and you can, because it's two-dimensional, you can kind of make it either one side protrude towards you if it's a naked cube, or you can make the other side protrude towards you, like that side protrude away from you, right? And you can switch. So kind of like that, but you can change the colors. Here's the thing: it's not a little bit different. Like, it switches and it looks completely different. All of a sudden, it jumps from being white and gold to blue and black, which is wild. Like, and then you just see it that way, and then you can teach yourself how to switch in between in real time. And this one is really wild. And it really makes you understand that, holy crap, like, I choose to see it in this color or in this color, and both are correct, depending on how I'm looking at it, which really opens a whole new window of, this is not just like it is a visual illusion, but it really makes you think how many other things are like that, both conceptually and both, like, we sit in a conversation and then somebody says something and one person takes it one way, the other person took it a completely different way, all because they have different frames of the situation. But I encourage everybody to try the thing with the dress. It's crazy. And the way I did that is that I think I saw it originally as white and gold. What you can do is you can pull up another image next to it of a fake meme of the same dress, not the original one, in which it can only appear like it's concrete, like it can only appear as the other color. If you see it white and gold, pull up the fake dress that is only blue and black, and you can't see it. No matter who you are, you can't see it any other color. And then start kind of like drift with your eyes and then try and match the colors and try and import the blue into where the white was in the other dress. And slowly you'll be able to kind of make it change. And then you can go in between them. Let's see. Do you take them to breakthrough first? As far as the experiment is concerned, either you go to breakthrough, and then when you come down, then you can sit and observe, or you go very, very, very slow, one talk every like 2-3 minutes until you feel that you're in the space enough, and then you can just kind of sit there and explore. Do you believe the simulation has any implications for life after death? Absolutely. That means that whatever, computation, whatever informational pattern we are, it definitely would survive death. I don't think personality survives death, but definitely the idea of the soul all of a sudden is being reintroduced into the picture. A cloud went by my window, but every time I looked up, it started over. Wait, it started over. Happened. So you looked at a cloud, and every time you looked out, it started over, like it went again. That's wild. Like the two words on the screen, but you only hear the one you're looking at. Maybe people could sketch what they see. Yeah, people sketched, Jason. A few people sketched it, and there's definitely an agreement on what it looks like. Ernest Perez, how are you? Let's see. Okay, I have 5 more minutes. Yeah, I apologize for the rushed live talk today. but I think it was meant to be because I also feel like you watch Nima. Are you able to show us a sketch of what it looks like? I don't know how to show things here, but if you email me to lasersimulationx@gmail.com, lasersimulationx@gmail.com, I'll send you a sketch, no problem. And people, sometimes they have an issue with me sharing that information because they say, well, now you're planting this in people's minds. I'm like, that's incorrect because it's highly specific and its behavior is something that you can't really, I can't really implant the behavior of it in your mind, and it behaves always exactly the same way. So yeah, if you email me, I'll definitely send you an image of that. And also, we're working on a documentary right now about the project, and I'll obviously a lot of this stuff is going to be in the documentary. Oh, by the way, the reason that I don't think it's priming people is because, well, first of all, people talk about stuff that they see in the space of the molecule all the time. So even if it's something else, they talk about beings, they talk about all kinds of things. So you can say if you ever talk about what you see, you're priming other people to see it. Doesn't make any sense. Like you either see it or you don't, right? So you can prime people to a certain extent, but you can't really prime people to see the same thing over and over and over again. That's unheard of. Molly, okay, use molly. What? Molybdenum? What is molybdenum? Hold on. Let's see. Dude, what? Why is the internet so slow? Or is it just me that I'm slow? Oh, okay, I see. Neodymium. Yeah, I don't think they're strong enough. I don't think they can produce 3 Teslas. There's no way. You need. How you doing, Antinarch? Did you get to research Upside by Tom Matt? Yeah, I kept on listening to the episode. I don't have a lot of free time during the day, unfortunately, at the moment, but I am listening to like 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there. When I'm done with the first interview by him, then I'll definitely let you know. Thank you for asking. I'm fabulous. Thank you for asking. I'm super happy to hear that. To anybody who just came for the regulars, apologies, guys, but I'm actually going to have to jump off in about 2 minutes. Today is like a super short one. I only started 30 minutes ago, so you didn't miss much. But tomorrow is going to be a regular talk. So we're definitely going to get to chat more in depth tomorrow. Today's discussion was mostly around magnets and how they can potentially help us with the experiment. Do you believe the simulation has any implication? Oh, we saw that. Okay. Look like a good teacher, Jason Kinney. That's where I came from. Do 2 people see the same exact thing, like call out and draw exact symbols? Drawing in real time is very difficult, Caltoctic. But people, we had 15 people in the room all at once, and everybody could talk about it just like they see a regular object in the room. So definitely more than 2 people saw it at the same time. I don't think he sees 100% though. You're talking about me, like sees all the comments? Read John Bell. He mentioned something about this. The John Bell mentioned something about what? Yes, yeah, I can't see all the comments, unfortunately, but you can re-put them. Feel free to put the comment again if you feel like I missed it. I am trying to get to all of them. But definitely, yeah, put them again. John Bell, what exactly did he say? Or you're not talking to me? It's kind of hard to know sometimes if I missed some texts before. Oh, we've been stuck on 99 likes for like forever. Somebody can make 1 like just for my OCD will relax, so it's an even 100. It drives me crazy. Thank you. Oh, now we overshot it. No, it's good. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, this is a good way of getting likes. Is like just tell you that I really love a number. Guys, my favorite number is 1,000,000. Can we all like till 1,000,000? Glitching. I give up this thing keeps. Even 200 now. Thank you, Jason. Holy crap. Um, that it has to be some kind of a competition, right? What is it? What did I see this? There was some competition where people have to like press something really, really fast. What was it? Oh man, now it's gonna drive me crazy. There was something where you had to like, oh, it was a game where you had to like, there was a guy that developed this technique to do something really, really fast on like uh on one of the console handles, and it was like something crazy. Anyway, doesn't matter. Appreciate the likes, guys. Thank you. Tetris game. Maybe it was. No, it was something else. I know in Tetris they also have to do it, but there was something else. Yeah. Didn't a guy break like basically one Tetris or something recently? It was it was insane or something. Um it just tells you that we're kind of getting to the end of this part of the simulation, right? Oh, thanks guys. I appreciate all the likes. This is great. Um yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go crazy with the likes. Um if we get him enough likes, we save the world. Okay, we'll do that one tomorrow when I'm actually like on the chat for a while. But let's see if we can get to 1,000 today. I do appreciate that. I don't. What is it? By the way, this is where I'm gonna really brand myself as a complete ignoramus when it comes to TikTok. Aside from obviously the algorithm kind of like registering, okay, people like this chat. What does it also promote it to more people to see the chat? Does anybody know? Yeah, beat Tetris finally. Isn't it crazy to be the first person on the planet to beat a game? I don't even know if they made it off the thought that maybe nobody will ever beat it, and then somebody did. So definitely, I think that alone kind of gives you pause. Like we're getting to the end of whatever this is. Uh, make this nice man go viral. So it does. It does make it go viral. Is that what the thing is? Interesting. Wow, we got to 1,000 real fast. Let's see. We'll run this experiment tomorrow. Julie has to go, I think. Okay. Coming. Okay. Do you think possible we failed and we are in a prison universe? Yeah, somebody mailed me this today. AI nurse, thank you. I don't know. Again, I can't obviously know, right? From what I'm seeing in the space, me personally, it's just kind of like I, I don't think anybody's imprisoned. I think it's just layers. And when a civilization gets advanced enough, they start to understand what's going on, and then they start realizing, oh wait, we're not alone. And then the other civilizations that are aware of the lower civilizations, they have, I guess, protocols to help cushion the blow. So maybe they start doing certain things, they kind of brush up against you a little bit, maybe they send UFOs, things like that, like protrusions into your space. And then slowly you get acclimated to the idea, first through some, subcultural narratives, and then slowly people get a little bit more acclimated. You test the waters, and then eventually you get to a place where you fully reveal the thing. But it's more like we're just getting to the understanding. And you can also, I guess, equate it to kind of like being a birth, because we're being born into some kind of a new space with new capabilities. And you would assume that even though the process is natural, just like birth is, you still, it's a good idea to do it in a hospital, in an environment where you have a controlled setting, where there's doctors and people who know how this process goes. And it's almost like, the organization that helps that birth happen. So I think that's more likely the scenario. But who knows, right? I think that the tendency of thinking of everything in terms of oppression and we are a victim also creates these scenarios. So I try not to lean in that direction. If something happens and you discover something that it has to be addressed, you can always address it. Thinking like that on a regular basis, I know it's like a cool narrative, and there's something romantic about it. But I feel like, I don't know, it just creates to me, it seems like that will undoubtedly make your life, not you as you, but like anybody who adopts these kind of ideas, it feels to me like it makes your life not as good. Like it just makes it not as fun to live, where you aim for the best, then you believe that the best is possible, and that does not mean that you think that everything is rosy and no things need to be rectified, but at least you live in a world in which you really have hope. um, I always say, like being the guy that always said that we're all gonna die in a nuclear holocaust. If when the bomb goes off, if that happens, you're the one pointing to the bomb going, see, I told you. So you lived your entire life to have that one dopamine spike to say everybody, I told you. Does that help you? No. If something like this happens, it happens. But in the meanwhile, how about we live our lives trying to, aim for the best and not for something like that? Especially if reality creates what we're convinced of, which is a possible scenario, then we definitely don't want to think like that. But also, and I know that this example is not exactly what you're asking, but I think it's just another flavor of the same thing. We're imprisoned, we're enslaved, we don't belong here, all this stuff. It's like very negative, it's very anti-human, and I think eventually it basically makes us not like ourselves so much. And then you have a lot of uh, pretty pretty negative things happening where people can't stand themselves. You create scenarios that are trying to eliminate people or blame people or hate people. Okay, I think I'm being yelled at through the text. Guys, I'm really apologizing for the short one today. Thank you, Caltoctic. Your ego, your sense of separate entity create duality. Okay. Helios, how are you? So, guys, again, thank you so much for joining today. It's going to be a short one because I got to go drop off puppies. My woman is going to kill me. I'm late. So, uh, till tomorrow, thank you so much for all the likes. Tomorrow, I'll make sure to ask everybody also to click, and also I'm going to make sure that we're actually going to be talking about something that is more outlandish and more fun. So maybe we can actually amp up the chat and bring it to go viral so more people join. We talk about a lot of great stuff. Thank you everybody for the attention. Apology for being short today. Tomorrow we'll do a proper one, but we're going to go on for a while. So much love to everybody. Peace.